evening. Welcome to An Hour with Bob,
the #1 variety show in Southern New England.
Bob's guests tonight include Tony Petrarca, CBS 12 meteorologist,
Joe Rocco, director, Waterfire video,
Mike Ryan, RI Film Collaborative,
Cutler, music, and myself, Mrs. Johnston, Karen McCahey.
And myself, Mackenzie Wilcox, Miss Richmond.
Here he is, the Johnny Carson of cable television,
Bob Venderini.
Here's Bob.
Oh, that was very good. That was very good. Thank you, ladies. Give my hand for that, huh? Well, folks, I got to tell you, I know it's Christmas time, but does it feel like Christmas time? December 3rd, I am out in my yard today, blowing leaves around. I washed the dog outside today. It was 55 degrees, and we'll find out later of what's going on with this weather, because I guess tomorrow it's projected to be 59 degrees in December 4th. I can remember as a kid, my first car was a 1956 Ford convertible. And October 2nd, I hadn't put antifreeze in it yet. I go out to start the car, October 2nd, my first vehicle I ever owned. I bought it when I was 14 and a half years old. I started up, I hear all these noises. It started rattling and shaking. I turned it right off again, fortunately for me. What happened was I blew 6 freeze plugs. Motors have on the side of them, they have these little plugs. They're a little bigger than a silver dollar. And they're positioned all around the block and, unfortunately for me, behind the transmission. I had to replace the freeze plugs on the side weren't bad, but one under the motor mount was bad and the two behind the transmission were, you had to take the transmission out. I had to take the whole motor out to change these things because at the time I didn't spend $3 to put antifreeze in the car. And again, my point is, it was October 2nd. You know, old timers talk about how much snow it was, back in the day. Well, it's the truth. Now we are at December 3rd and it's 55 degrees. And global warming, does it exist? I think so. Hey, how'd you like the two potential, or the two candidates anyway, the two contestants for the Mrs. Rhode Island 2013, Miss Richmond and Miss Johnston. Mackenzie Wilcox, right? And it's Karen McCahey, right? Yeah. And it's amazing to see, now Mackenzie I knew already, and as it turns out, I know Karen also, and we'll see more from them in a few minutes. But Saturday night, I went out to the Veterans, I still call it the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, to see my good friend, Joe Rocco. You ought to see Joe in a second. I've known Joe, it's got to be 25 years. Joe used to be on Channel 10, sportscaster, and he took on another life, and he became a director, producer, all kinds of other things. You're going to hear about that too as we go along. But first and foremost, I went to this event at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, full house on the first level of people to see his documentary on Barnaby Evans' Waterfire. And, you know, I said this that night, and I said this to, I don't know, some reporter, that I went there because I know Joe and I know what a perfectionist he is. I expected nothing but perfection. And guess what? That's what I got. That movie was, I think, an hour long. I'm not absolutely sure. We'll find out in a minute. I think it was an hour long, and they got a standing ovation at the end of the movie. That was phenomenal. That was this movie. And Joe Rocco, how you doing?
Happy holidays. Thanks again for coming Saturday. My question to you is, it was 59 minutes long, by the way.
So I was there. I said an hour.
Some of you folks may know, and I've known Bob for a long time, I've never seen you sit still for more than about 10 minutes. Did you sit there the whole time and watch
I did not get up.
Wow, now that is a compliment.
I did not get up. That's right.
That's a compliment. Yeah, that's our documentary, Waterfire, Art and Soul of a City, that we've worked very hard on with a very talented team of broadcast professionals. Jim Karpaychik, who's won 16 Emmy Awards, was our chief videographer and editor. Mary Steele, a very talented documentary writer who I used to work with at Channel 10, wrote the script. Barnaby Evans, co-executive producer, and worked with us very closely and helped make it better, and some of his staff and people. So it was a total team effort. We put cameras this summer under bridges, over bridges, and balconies of the GTEC building. We put them in the water. They provided video, Waterfire did from their crew in Italy,
Yes.
because there's Waterfire Rome in there as well.
Which happened this summer, this past summer.
September, the end of September.
Right.
So in the end, Bob, we had more than 50 hours, 50
And you
hours
had to
of video
shrink that down.
to what you saw Saturday night, which was 59 minutes. However, we got a little carried away in the end. We have so much good material. It was a producer's dream.
Right.
That we created an additional 50 minutes.
And you,
of
it's 50
bonus,
minutes.
of bonus video
On the same,
on the DVD. So there's the main program, and then there's like a 12-minute loop of the best sights and sounds
which
of
is
Waterfire
cool. You can run
Providence.
that, you can run that at work, you can run that at,
Well, if you're having a house party, for example, everybody's got a big flat screen these days. You can run it, and there's beautiful music, and it just runs in a loop. And then there's a 7-minute music video of additional video from Rome, of Waterfire Rome. And then Barnaby Evans was such a great interview, and of course he's such
was
a
actually
compelling.
funny. He was actually funny.
Well, that's the thing. He's funny. He's brilliant. We had when I interviewed Barnaby for this, the interview ran 5.5 hours.
oh my God.
5.5 hours.
What did it come down to?
Well, I mean, he's probably in there for about
12 minutes?
4 minutes.
No.
But we have
You can
so
hear
many
him, though.
great stories,
Right.
and some very, very funny stories that we did not have time to go through the other night on stage. So there's 35 minutes of Barnaby stories, the top 10 Barnaby Evans /
that's in the
Waterfire
extras.
stories, and that's another bonus chapter, which is why we spent 140 hours and went over budget, but that's another story, to make what we think is a killer DVD. Ideal stocking stuffer for all your
I think
family
it's
and
great.
friends.
We can't say prices now.
No prices.
No prices, but we can talk about it. You're a Rhode Islander now.
You have a clip,
We got
right?
the
Do we have a clip?
Hey, we do have
I
a
think
clip.
someone brought in a clip.
We got a clip, don't we? Do we have a clip?
See the beginning of it?
Let me see the clip. We got the clip? I think we have a clip.
In time we are all free. In peace we seek and be. In time even with the ones who see. Even in the minds, even in the minds that still, even in the deep blue sea.
Wow, and that's 1 minute of 59 minutes of the main meal, and then
Yes,
you got all
Waterfire,
those
art
extras.
art and soul of a city. And what we tried to do in this is so many people don't know the story of Waterfire, what goes into putting a Waterfire
Oh
on.
my God! Well, first of all, the origin of it, how it came to
how
be.
it started, and just the amazing work that Barnaby and his team do at Waterfire. So we took people behind the scenes, and then we take people to Rome for the
Right.
like I mentioned, the Waterfire in Rome, and there's some gorgeous video from there. Now let me ask you, what was your favorite part of the documentary?
That's tough because the guy, was it Spago? Is that his name?
The fire dancer, Spaga.
Spaga.
You should have him on your show.
I want to. In fact, I don't know if I told you this,
He's,
but
he's a very good musician too, by the way.
Really?
Well, he played. I don't know what time you got into the theater. He played before, as people were entering the theater. He
Right.
played. What he will do sometimes at Waterfire, he'll be out on the water and doing all his.
I've seen him out there.
And
yeah.
then this you might not know. A half hour, an hour later, he's over at places like Spire at the Hotel Providence.
Right.
And he's playing in a band or playing,
Yeah, he's got
and then
the crop
and then
of
he's
hair
back-
in the back.
And then an hour or two later, he's back on a boat spinning fire. That's a documentary in itself.
In fact, I
That
saw
could be-
him.
That could be your next project.
I
The story of
I do
Spaga.
have a little bit of connection with him, although I'm sure he got it with you too.
You should have him on the show.
The woman that ran the boat that he stood on the front of.
Yes.
I'm looking at her right at the beginning, the blonde woman. I'm saying, that's Christine. I was in Meet Joe Black with her.
Really?
97 or 96, whatever it was.
Well, it's a Rhode Island thing. You
Yeah.
know, what a small world it
And I
is.
saw her. I talked to her after the show. You know, she come over to me and
Right.
we chatted, and she introduced me to Spaga. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And there's a story about him jumping in the. I don't want to give it away. It's,
Yeah, don't get-
just
it's a-
too cool.
it's a terrific
just too
story.
cool.
It's a
That is
terrific
amazing. What that little move they did. That's something you see in one of these real action thrillers where a stunt that they pull. What he
Yeah,
did
what
there.
Bob is talking about is when Barnaby asked him one night many years ago to dive into the water after he lit the fires.
Fire and water.
And then what
Water,
happened,
fire.
and we won't give the rest of it away.
Right.
But it is one of the many
It's amazing.
entertaining stories. And,
Now, who's the woman? Smith? What is it? Janet?
well, the music you just heard,
Right.
that was the open to the documentary you just watched. That's Jennifer Smith,
Jennifer
very
Smith.
talented local singer-composer who's from Providence, and that song is called Radio Baghdad, and that comes up a little later in the documentary as well. But yeah, Jennifer, she was there Saturday night, and she is wonderful, and as you could tell, very talented, the real deal.
Right. And it took you a little
singer-composer.
bit of work to get the rights to that.
Well, we were negotiating with. She owns just part of the rights. I mean, the music rights, as you know, can get very complicated. So I was on the phone with a lawyer from New York on our second to last day of editing, and the guy who could sign off on it, and the deal was in Paris.
Oh, God.
And we're and it's got to be edited and out the door in 24 hours.
Right.
So a lot of things came together at the last minute, and we couldn't be more pleased for everyone who was there, and we thank you for coming. It was a memorable night. You know, we told people you're only going to see this once on the big screen in high def in that beautiful Vets
Right,
Theater.
right.
It's not going to happen again there. Not to say if you don't watch it on your flat screen at home, and there are Blu-rays available as well, it will really pop and be fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. It
But
really
we want
is.
to thank everybody, and the standing O was
I was just going to say
very
that. Now, how did you
flattering.
feel at the standing
Well,
up?
Barnaby and I walked out, and nobody timed it, but I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, a minute or two or three.
It was a
I don't
couple
know
of
what it
minutes,
was,
yeah.
A couple of minutes. And I turned to Barnaby and I said, "Well, I guess they liked it."
Yeah, they sure did.
So that was a good sign, and that, of course, was very flattering. So we hope people will buy lots of DVDs to help support Waterfire.
it's Rhode Island.
And help me pay for this thing too, by the way.
There you go. It's Rhode Island.
It's available at Benny's.
Yep.
And it's available. We're going to have people at the Warwick Mall. The Warwick Mall people have been very kind to donate space. So throughout the holidays, on most days, especially on every weekend,
Great stocking stuff.
going to be near the Nordstrom Rack. It'll be available, and then online if you want it the easy way at rockjoe.com. ROCJO.com.
Rock Joe Productions.
$20, and
Oh, you did it! Oh,
I'm
no!
not supposed to say that.
No, that's all right. Hopefully nobody hears that.
I'm
But-
not supposed to do that. 2 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, and I know you have the big Toys for Tots 19th year next week.
Tuesday, week from Tuesday.
Week from Tuesday.
The 11th of December.
The 11th, 19 years.
19 years, yeah.
Well, congratulations. So you'll be at the Warwick Mall that night.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward
All
to joining
day and
you
night.
and bringing a truckload of toys for what you're doing.
You're always
That's-
there
that's
every
great.
year. You're there every year.
It's the only time I go to a toy store. I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
So it gives me an excuse to go see the latest toys. I go for your telethon.
Yep,
I have
yep.
no idea. It's amazing what's in toy stores these days.
Oh, God. I
I-
wouldn't want to buy toys for young kids today. Hey, let's switch gears for a minute. For those that don't know, Joe Rocco is the producer, the promoter, the director, whatever you want to call it, of the Newport Comedy Series. I remember when you started it, 12 years, 13 years ago?
Yeah, 12 and a half years ago.
And you've had some acts. I mean, you've had some of the best comedians that are anywhere.
Well-
and again, I talk about Terry Fader, who was not even, he won the first
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent, and the guy is phenomenally talented.
If you're in Las Vegas, you go to he's at the Mirage.
Mirage,
They
yeah.
named the theater after him.
$20 million a year for 5 years.
Yeah,
they
not
give
bad.
him. Not a bad
that
gig.
deal
So he
is
had
up-
to be pretty
that-
talented.
And you don't know this. That deal is up in a year, and I think there's an option to renew it for the next
His
5
option at 21.
at $200 million.
Is it 200
for
million?
the next 5 years.
Because I know we had dinner with him that night, remember, after the show?
That's right. He came over to wherever we went.
Yeah, we went
great
to
guy.
dinner, and he had to go to Kentucky after that night. He had to leave to go to,
Good memory.
yeah.
Well, we've had a lot of fun in Newport, and
You've had some great acts.
and
Oh, by the way, don't you have something coming up? You got a...
well, we normally
Can you say it? Can
we
you talk
we
about it?
normally don't we normally don't book and confirm acts until February or,
Right.
or March sometimes. But the co-founder, president of the comedy series, the great Bill Blumenreich, who may be the best comedy promoter in the
Nice
country.
guy, great guy.
Bill's my guy.
He's part of... What
He
else
owns
does
the
he
Wilbur Theater, the Comedy Connection
Right.
clubs.
In
and
Boston, too,
books
right?
shows all around the country now, and music
Great
and
guy,
comedy.
too. Great guy.
He is a great guy, and we're good friends. And Bill's the guy who gets these big acts and then hands it off to me, and then I kind of make the rest of it happen. Bill got a little ambitious this fall. He usually doesn't go to town on it until January. And tomorrow we are announcing, so we'll might as well make the announcement here for the very first time.
Oh, that's great.
Four comedians coming to the 2013 series, all major names, all will sell out. I'll give them to you in alphabetical order.
Go ahead.
How's that? Are you ready? Are you writing these down?
I got you.
Because I want you. I know you plan way ahead. I want you to be there on these nights.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the first one is the biggest one on the list, the hottest selling comedian in the country. We've had him before. We're having him
Jeff?
again. Jeff Dunham will be back. And
How
it's
did I know that?
And it's only going to be one show, with Ahmad, the dead terrorist, and they'll all be there. And forgive me, I don't even have the dates memorized, but it's all on NewportComedy.com.
What day of the week is it? Are they all Saturday nights?
No,
Sundays,
they're spread
or-
out. Jeff is a Sunday night. The next act, the lovable queen of mean,
Oh, no.
Lisa Lampanelli,
Lampanelli.
is coming back to rip people apart, especially those who sit up front. They love
Why?
that. Yeah, well, she will be back. And then we will also have Brian Regan,
Great.
who's the total opposite of Lisa, one of the cleanest and funniest comedians you'll ever see, David Letterman's favorite comedian.
He was one of the last ones you had last year, wasn't he?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And then we have Tater Salad is coming back. Ron White.
Oh, I
So
like
you have
him.
to get the shot glass
With the-
out.
with the drink
cigar
and the cigar.
We really do have an ashtray and a shot glass
And
a box that we put in the attic.
Yep.
Because neither my wife, the wonderful Diane, of course, or we don't do shots, and neither one of us smokes cigars. So we just put that away in a box. And we say, well, we'll take it out when Ron comes back.
What a good guy, too. He's a
And
good guy.
and he's a funny guy. Just was at PPAC recently. I think he sold it out.
Yep.
And he's coming back. So there's 4 major acts going on sale.
That's great. You
Friday
got them already. You
at
got them locked
noon.
in already.
And we're close with a few other big names that Bill won't let me talk about right now, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So we're on our way to putting together a phenomenal lineup. NewportComedy.com. But we'd love, mainly here to talk about, and I appreciate the time, Bob, and I appreciate you being there the other night for Waterfire,
course.
Art and Soul of a City that we're very proud of. And we want
And
to
well,
thank
you should
all the
be.
people who worked hard on it. I had a little bit to do with it, but all those other people I mentioned did the heavy lifting.
Well, thank you for stopping
Thanks.
by and spending part of an hour with
Happy
Bob.
holidays. Love the tree. Did you decorate that tree?
Oh, I think Corey decorated that tree. Anyway, we're going to go to a song, and we're coming back with my next guest. And who's with us? That's Mark Cutler.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Very talented musician, plays in, as a solo, as I said before, duets, plays in a band. What's the name of the band?
Men of Great Courage, The Schemers, The Rain Dogs.
Wow, you got them all covered. All right, give us a song. Mark Cutler.
So come on out to the woods with me. I'll show you shot up cars and a dead oak tree. It's down the path through the rustling leaves. The darkness covers like a canopy. Feel the wind, wind and spin, pick up and sway and bend. a girl, set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me. I'll show you my secret treasure map. It's got a big old X where the treasure's at. I got a bag of gold in a treasure trunk. I got a cracked glass eye and assorted junk. Feel the wind wind and spin, big old pants sway and bend. Love a girl, I'll set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me. Well, there's a babbling brook and some stuff I took. So come with me, child, and take a look. It's not too far from the fishing hole, where the demons and devils try to hook your soul. So feel the wind wind and spin, big old pants sway and bend. Love a girl, I'll set you free. Well, if you just come out to the woods with me, come on out to the woods with me. Just come out to the woods with me. Come on out to the woods with me.
Nice soft song. What would you call that, Mark? What would you call that?
That's called Come Out to the Woods.
Come out to the woods. All right, you gotta go. You still, didn't I ask you one time, was it you I asked about doing, I thought you would be good doing Cat Stevens.
I don't know. No, it wasn't
You don't
me.
know none of his stuff, huh?
Well, I've played some Cat Stevens in my
I
life.
love Father and Son.
Father and Son's a great song.
Yeah.
I like Where Did the Children Play?
Oh, great
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
T for the Tillerman.
T for the Tillerman.
Oh,
Yeah.
in fact, that brings me to the point of this little picture right here. We got a shot of this?
Who is that?
Who's that? Wait a minute, that's Tony Petrarca! We got Tony Petrarca's in the house, folks! Tony Petrarca!
That's me as a baby.
Meteorologist extraordinaire, Tony, a couple years ago. This picture I found, I was doing some stuff, cleaning in the house, and I found this picture, and this is the infamous Zachary Taylor, my
Z-Man.
son Zach. In the better days, Zach was, I don't think he was a year old in that picture. I think he was probably 10 months old, 9 or 10 months old.
He's logged on more TV than you.
He has, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Just it.
He's retired.
Done. Yeah, done. You know, we had him behind the camera. He doesn't want to be in front of the camera anymore. You know, it's weird. Because he held the record, the Guinness Book of Records. It took me a couple of years to put it together because this studio here in Pawtucket had been bought and sold like 5 different times. 5 different companies owned it. It was Colony Cable. It's Cox. Or last one it was Cox. It was Colony. It was Dimension. It was I don't know. There was
Time Warner.
Continental.
Yep.
It was a whole bunch of them, right? Dimension. Anyway, so I had to go to every one of them because they wanted the continually running show, and I put him in. Guinness is in England. I had to keep sending communiques with them, and I had to send authorized stuff. They had to be notarized from the different managers and owners of the cable company at the time, each one saying that he has in fact had a continually running show for all these years. 2 weeks before his second birthday. He would have beat the existing guy, or the existing kid, by more than 4 years. Almost 5 years, actually. Got all the stuff done, Tony. Finally get the paperwork back. It said all we had to do is have me and my son's mother sign off for it. She refused to sign. So it never happened.
But it's a great track record nonetheless.
Yeah. He's been a lot of places. He's been, all over the United States. And he can tell, one of your good friends that made it big time, KJ.
Christine Johnston in New York City.
New York City. She's doing the evening news now, I understand.
Yeah, I think the CBS affiliate, I think.
Yeah, WCBS.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard from her?
Like through emails and things like that.
Yeah. I loved her. I mean, she was amazing.
Well,
that girl was amazing.
You knew she was going to go places.
I said it. I said it. I predicted it. She's on the show the first time, and I said to her, I found out she had been behind the scenes for 5 years
At
on
least.
Channel 12, and I said to her, who's running that place? Ronnie Millsap and Ray Charles, two blind guys, because
No comment.
she was fun. I mean, she's gorgeous. But gorgeous as a person. I mean, she's just a wonderful person. And I had said to her on that show, and I have proof of the tape that I said it. I said, within 5 years, I see you filling in for Katie Couric, who was on NBC 10 at the time on the Today Show.
Well,
right?
she did some part-time filling on the Today
And
Show.
she ended up filling in one day for Katie Couric when she was still with the Today Show, which was absolutely amazing. What happened was she was seen on this show by a guy who was down the Cape. His brother was an agent in California, as she told me, and he told her, he said, you got to see this girl, this woman on Channel 12, and I saw her on this cable
Well, that's the only
show.
reason why I do this show.
Yeah, I saw. Hey, you see some of them?
Some agent on the Cape, if they're watching.
Well, wait a minute. See who's done big time for coming on the show?
Who?
Dylan Dreyer. Now on, she was on the show.
She's on HDH in Boston.
No, now she just got. She's on the weekend on the Today Show now.
See how much I know.
Yeah. She just got that.
I remember
right,
Dylan,
Corey,
yep.
right? She just got that a couple months ago. Dylan Dreyer. She emailed me about it. Before her good friend, Catherine Tappan.
Nesson or no?
She was on Nesson. Now she's on what? The Golf Channel or the Hockey Channel or something? What? NHL Network. We did a show, her and I, on the upper deck down at table 28. During a busy night, they closed it off, and they had the whole, I don't drink, but they brought the wine. They made it look like we were on a date, right? And she's talking about her ex-boyfriend, and I mean, she was going out with the guy that was a center fielder, I think, or left fielder, Nick Markakis. He plays for the Baltimore Orioles. Makes like $13 million a year. Instead, she ended up marrying a guy that was a hockey player for the Providence Bruins, and she's still married to him. But she left here. She called me after about they all use the show as a tape. They use it.
Oh, good.
In the tape, which is great. Same thing with
Excuse me.
used to be on Savani Banerjee.
Yes.
Channel 6.
Channel 6.
Same thing. So Tony Petrarca, this is the guy, and in fact, this is not only the guy, this is the guy. 25 years you've been on TV.
25 and a half.
25, where's the shot? Who's got this? 25. Now, I called you as soon as I heard you got this award. I said,
you.
I got to have my main man on this show. Now, you're only one behind, You know who you're one behind, right?
Who's that?
On this show. That's my guest.
As far as the most?
Yeah,
I'm going to guess Gene.
absolutely.
Gene.
You and Gene are back to back. I bust Gene up about it, and then he comes on twice in a row. He says, I'm not tied. He was tied with you. He come on twice in a row. Now you're only
Well, I
down
have Gene's
by one.
email. I'm gonna text him tonight. I'm closing in.
You're only down by one. You were tied with him. You're only down by
Yeah,
one.
but who was first?
You were first.
Yeah.
You were first.
Yeah.
God, we go back. Although I go back with Gene when he had his mustache, when he first came here a long time ago. But you're a native Rhode Islander. You're from Warwick.
Yep. Born and raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. You started what? You're young. You're only a young kid.
They hired me at Channel 12 when I was 7.
Is that right?
No, I was lucky to. I started 87.
Wow.
Actually, I started as an intern in '85, so yeah. it's
That's
been a-
amazing. Now, what's
long
this? What's this? What do we got here?
It is.
The silver?
First of all, I'll let the folks at home. Bob made me bring this plaque here.
That's right. I
didn't-
did. That's right. I got to
So
tell you.
I'm not like walking around. All
Tony is a humble guy, and first of all, he could not fit this plaque in his pocket. There's no way that was happening. This is heavy too.
It's the Silver Circle Award from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, like an Emmy Award.
That's amazing.
For 25 years in television, and it includes community work as well.
Which you've done a lot of.
Yeah. I mean, you want to.
You're always there for my Toys for Tots. I know that. I mean,
Yep.
we go back before you were married. I won't get into that. I know you don't like it when I say it, but we go back to
back in the day.
back in the day when we talked about cars and
Yeah.
stuff.
So, but
Yep.
it's always nice to be back on. Thank you for having me. It's been pretty busy with the weather, with Sandy. Tracking the hurricane. It's nice and quiet now.
Now, what's with this weather? It's
Oh.
55 degrees. It's
It
December
happens.
3rd.
It happens. You're talking about global warming.
Yeah, it's not. You don't believe in it?
Well, no, you can't blame global warming like on a one-day event, but rather it's responsible for how weather has changed over
And how
the
the
years.
glaciers have receded.
Yeah, there's no denying that. So, and there are two camps as to what creates global warming. Is it man-made or is it natural?
Right.
And
It's a cycle,
They'll
a
go back
natural
and forth.
cycle.
Is it a natural cycle or is it something that we did as humans? So,
Right.
and that debate will go on forever. But it doesn't change the fact that the planet's warming. And you may think, well, that's great. Let's go to the beach, but you don't want to disrupt, the very delicate balance.
Right? It only takes a couple degrees in the water to change everything.
It does, and some parts of the world have droughts, other parts of the world have big storms. So, it's like a domino effect. It's a big deal, and it just makes the challenge of forecasting even more difficult.
Oh, I guess. I was in Thailand 2 months to the day after the tsunami they had over there. The tsunami was Christmas Eve.
It was
Christmas night, not Christmas Eve.
No, was it 23rd? It was just
25th.
Before. Oh, all right, okay.
It was the night of the 25th, or day of the 25th. I was there. I arrived there February 25th. That had already been planned to go there, and I'd never seen such devastation. They were showing the water level 11 blocks from the water was, and I remember this because it was 11 feet of water.
And it's not like a tidal wave. It's just this constant surge of water that keeps coming on shore. It may be only 11 feet high, but the power of moving water, it's moving at a fast rate of speed, and it just keeps plowing in, it keeps moving in. It seems like a tide that keeps coming in that won't go out, and it just penetrates, miles and miles inland. It's like a liquid bulldozer. It knocks everything in.
And it's not just the water. If you don't die by drowning, you die by
Debris.
a car hitting you, or a boat hitting you.
Yeah.
I interviewed a guy, of course, everybody says, and it's amazing to me, I've been on 5 continents, I've been on over 40 countries, and still people will say, oh, Rhode Islanders don't travel. They don't go anywhere. They need a passport to go from Pawtucket to Warwick. Yeah, that might be the truth for some people, but how about this? When I was in Thailand, I found a man from Newport, Rhode Island, that not only is there in the wintertime, he's there in the wintertime, he's in Newport in the summertime, he's a captain of a boat, so he's working for some wealthy man. He had just parked his truck and on the street, and he's walking, think of Fort Lauderdale, how it's set up. With Fort Lauderdale, there's no buildings on the water side, right? You got all the nice buildings, condos on the other side of the street. Parks his car, 2 lanes each side, or his truck, I should say, and he walks down to the dock, gets on his skiff, he motors out to the yacht, gets on the yacht, ties up the dinghy, gets on the yacht, doesn't put up sails because he wants to get out to the deep water first, motors out, all of a sudden, he didn't even feel, he said, I didn't even feel the thing. He said, I realized that after it was a little like that, like a little bump in the wave, like a wake almost from another boat. He said, I heard a noise, I looked back to the shore, and he said, I couldn't see the shore, but all I saw was my truck up in the air. It ended up across the street right through the patio doors of this condo, 3rd floor. And he says, after that, a second wave came, and he says it had to be 60 or 70 feet high. He said, but between the 2 waves, about 200 yards, there was no water. The water receded, like as they said, the comparison or the trying to compare it to something. They're pulling out of your plunger out of your tub, letting the water go down. And people were running out and grabbing the fish. A lot of shrimp there. People got their shirts, pulled their shirts out.
Only to have the second surge come.
And then I hear a guy, I saw a video that I didn't see here. I've since seen it here, but they didn't show it for a long time. One of the videos I saw there's a guy videotaping, and you can hear him talking, and he's yelling, get out of there, because he can see the water coming. There's this wall of water, and these people are not hearing him, because he's on the patio of the deck of a big skyscraper, and here comes the surge of water and just blew everybody away.
This is from a quake,
1,000 miles away.
2,000 miles away.
Was it 2,000 miles away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how that one thing, shifting of the plates.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the Earth is like a big jigsaw puzzle. So when it slides, it'll cause the water to slosh, just like you can just cause that to slosh, which is not a big deal. Because a huge chunk of the water to slosh over the ocean, and it travels for many miles, and that's what happens. So.
Well, speaking of water, I could use a drink. How come you got a drink and I didn't get a drink?
Well, you need. I can get. Now, if you want to get a drink, you want to get a drink.
Who's this? Who's this?
This is the future television star.
Who's this young lady?
I'm Cassandra Albergaria.
I love the last name.
Thank you.
Cassandra Albergaria.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Italian, huh?
Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's Italian in Portuguese. What a combination. My kids are Italian and Portuguese with a little French and Irish thrown in.
But very quickly tell everybody the connection with Eyewitness News so far.
Right.
Absolutely.
Tell us.
Channel 12, the Road Show, Search for a Star competition. I have been lucky enough to be
Top
chosen
five.
as the top 5. Yep, one of the top 5 contestants for the show. So if you go on to WPRI.com, you can go ahead and vote by watching my audition video, and we find out next Monday who the winner is. So very exciting.
Where's the whole event being held? At this, is it?
I believe it's at Jackie's Water Place.
Okay.
Oh, it is. I know Jackie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know Jackie.
Yeah.
I go to his restaurant in
it's great
in
there.
North Providence all the
It's
time.
a beautiful restaurant.
Oh yeah, the one in Providence.
Yeah, the one
is
in Providence is
spectacular.
great.
It really is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, you want to win, but the fact that it started with hundreds and it's down to 5, you should be very proud.
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
It's been such a journey. I mean, we're going through so much. It's been a lot of fun.
And being one of the native Rhode Islanders,
Yeah.
I hope that gives you a little bit
One
of
of
an edge.
the only native Rhode Islanders.
There's only
Bob.
2, right?
Yep, just
Only
2
2
of
native
us.
Rhode
so-
Islanders of 5.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would think that would have some, effect on the.
So
on
we
the
hope.
And being as beautiful as you are.
And I get to be here, which is part of the best part, I think.
Well, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps.
I hope so too, Bob.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
You got your water.
I got my water.
good?
I got.
Sure?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that was great.
Yes, good. I mean, I'm sure she's nervous, just like all the other contestants. And people have been coming to the website to vote. And
Which is it again? Give us the website.
WPRI.com, or you can go to foxprovidence.com,
Right.
and getting a lot of web traffic. And the the road show, it's I forget, we're going on year 5, and we've done Search for a Star co-host.
I was the
every
first
year.
one. I was in the first one.
You were the okay. Try.
Yeah, I tried for the first one.
And a lot of our hosts who have left have gone on to do some real big things.
Big Ben.
Ben
on Tonight Show.
Ben Haig was on the.
Was it Tonight Show?
No, it was.
Oh no. The guy, the English guy there. What is it?
Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson.
So he did Craig Ferguson. We have someone out in Las Vegas.
I'll see if I
doing
can't get
radio.
him on the
Sean, hey, Sean, and he's my friend, and I forgot his name.
Oh.
Sean Tempesta is doing a radio show in Las Vegas, so it's a great stepping stone to go.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want to keep you. I don't want to eat up your time. You have other people waiting. I mean.
Well, I just think that's amazing,
Thank you.
Tony. 25 and a half years.
Yeah, but who's counting? But thank you.
And he's still so young. He's such a young guy.
Thank you. So to the viewers at home that invite me into their living rooms,
What's the best
thank
part
you
of
very
being a weatherman? What's the best part of being a meteorologist, even?
The best part.
Where did you go to school? Vermont? Did you go to Vermont?
Would you believe I went to school? He was my roommate, Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel.
No kidding.
Was my roommate at Lyndon State College in Lyndonville, Vermont.
I was right about Vermont.
Yeah.
Lyndonville, huh?
T.J. Del Santo went to Lyndon State
Exactly.
College.
And I know that state pretty well. I used to have to drive up there for this kid every other Friday. Do you know where Milton, Vermont is?
Northern Vermont.
Very northern. It's 22
and
miles north of Burlington.
Yeah, like the signs are in French. It's near the Canadian border.
Do you know? Yeah, 12 miles from the Canadian border. I used to drive up there every other Friday to pick him up just to have him for Friday, the rest of Friday and Saturday. And have to drop them off in Bellingham on Sunday at noontime. And I would drive up there and back at the same time. You know, I'd go up there and get there for 3 in the afternoon, pick them up from school, bring them down here. The only stop I went to hit the bathroom, grab a sandwich or something, and drive back. I'd get home beaten, especially in nice weather. He'd go, Dad, can we go out or something, go down the Dare Street or something? I just rode 11 hours, but I would end up doing it anyway.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful state.
Oh, it is. It's a gorgeous state. But when there's nobody on the road in the dead of winter, you know, it's because you can drive fast and you.
It's just you, cars, moose, and deer.
That's right.
it.
Yeah. Well, Tony, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming by again. You got one more to catch up now. You got to have a reason to have you on again.
You know what I'm going to do next time Gene's on? I'm going to just come unannounced and sit right next to him.
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh,
that would be great.
We won't even tell him.
No.
Call me.
I love it. I love it. That would be great.
All right.
I'll see you for the Toys for Tots, I hope.
Next week.
I know you guys are also doing the Toys for Tots on Channel 12.
WPRI, 25 Catamount
Till the
Boulevard.
14th?
Till the 14th. You can stop by the studio and drop a toy off as well. Thanks for plugging that.
Yes.
All right.
Well, plug mine, will
All right,
you?
we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And where's our singer here? We got to get a singer. I got Mark. You know Mark?
We've met before.
Yeah. Well, you're down that South County area every now and again. I've run into you. Where'd I run into you?
We're all over.
No, I know that.
I think we're always bumping into restaurants for some reason.
Yes.
Either
I
we're
saw you
working
on the hill.
Either we're working or we're eating.
Yeah, I saw you on the hill, but then I saw you down in.
I saw you at the Columbus Day Parade.
Right. Yeah, of course.
I forget. Other places.
Always. You're always around.
No. Give me my plaque back.
No. All right. Give him his plaque back. Take your plaque back.
Good seeing you.
Thank you again, Tony.
Take care.
All right, Mark. Give us a song. Mark Cutler.
You're looking so high with your hand on his skin. Your head's in the sky and time's running thin. And someday will come when she says that she's through. She's killing me now. She'll be killing you too. She's a diamond and gold on the hand that you hold. When the story's all told, you'll be rusted and old. And I used to be the one with the jewel. She's killing me now. She'll be killing you too. Sunrise will come and find a shadow that you're hiding in. Sometime you realize you'll always lose, she'll always win. And when that day comes, just pull up a stool. She's killing me now. She'll be killing you too. She's killing me now. She'll be killing you too.
Mark Cutler, folks. And now, hey, somebody else new. Mike Ryan.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I saw you at the Veterans
Waterfire event last night.
What'd you think of
Saturday
that? What'd you think of that?
That was great.
Wasn't it
really,
awesome?
really
They did
awesome.
a great job, really.
Yeah.
And I was being factual when I was saying I expect the best from Joe Rocco, and he didn't disappoint.
No, he really didn't.
That was a nice, perfectly done project. And for me to sit down, he's not wrong. For me to sit down for an entire hour without getting up, without going, just moving out.
Yep. You just got up for the standing ovation, right?
Exactly. It's the only time. Now you're with the Rhode Island what?
The Rhode Island Film Collaborative. We're a nonprofit local organization that helps. We help independent filmmakers to make independent films.
See, Corey, we want to make a film. Here's the guy. We got to do a promo for Toys for Tots. We should do that tonight, actually.
Yeah, we help with that sort of thing. It's great to see something like the Waterfire project because it's locally made. It's about a local subject. It's local film, and then you see the community come out and support it the way they do other local arts, like theater and music and things like that.
Right, right.
So it's great to see local film, finding its place in the world.
As a matter of fact, we forgot to bring our award. We won the award for the best variety show, the PEG Award, the New England Cable TV PEG Award, Access Cable TV PEG Award for the best variety show host, right?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we won. I don't take it as me. I think we did it.
Congratulations.
We won. Corey, Ryan, John, and I together collectively won that award, which is pretty cool. We won it last year too.
Yep.
So that's we're doing something
And
right.
more than twice, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's all happening.
So, what kind of when you say you support movies, do they have to be any length to be considered a movie, or is it?
They really don't. Film festivals have rules about when something is considered a feature, and even those will vary from festival to festival. But as far as we're concerned, any length. We have ongoing learner productions that are only 5-minute shorts.
Oh.
And they'll work for a couple months to make a 5-minute short that's really good.
Well, what are some of the biggest things that you do?
Probably the biggest thing that we've done is the 48-hour film project. We manage that project every year. We've been doing it for 7 years now.
Yes.
And that's full of short films.
What was that?
That's, yep, I brought you a
best
copy
of?
of the best of from this past year, 2012.
You got this? Can you get this, John? Get a shot of that, Corey. Can you get that? Oh, we'll come back to that.
The cover isn't as exciting as what's inside the disc, but
Yeah.
we've. What happens is we give local filmmakers one weekend to make a film. At the beginning of that weekend, Friday night, they all get together, and each team pulls a genre out of a hat.
No kidding. That's cool.
And
they don't even know what they're getting.
They don't know what they're getting. They have no idea what they're going to get.
Oh, that would be fun.
So it could be comedy to
Yeah.
horror, everything in between. And then they get
Wow.
assigned a couple of things that they have to use in their film. So they'll get a prop that they have to use,
Right.
like a pear, or this year it was an auto part. They get a character. So, you may have to use Wilma Simpson, hairdresser. She may have to appear in your
Right.
short film. And they get a line of dialogue that they have to use. And somewhere in their film, that some character has to say that line of dialogue.
Oh, that's creativity. I
Yeah.
mean, you're really demanding creativity. When did you start? You started 7 years ago?
We
you said?
started 7 years ago, yeah. It's part of an international project.
And you started at why?
Well, we wanted some kind of event to bring the filmmakers in Rhode Island together. There are a lot of them, and 7 years ago at least, most of them didn't know each other.
Right.
And there's no art form more collaborative, I think, than film. You need a crew. You need a lot of people.
No kidding.
You
You
need a
need
lot of
sound
people.
guys. You need key grips. You need a director, producer. Well, not producer. You need director. You need
Right. You go
camera
on
people.
You need you go on the big sets and you've got hundreds of people. It's
Right.
Something like you mentioned.
Oh, it's
Meet
crazy.
Joe Black. You have hundreds
yeah.
of people. But even to do a small production, you still need more than one. You need a half dozen or a dozen.
Exactly.
So the average size at the best of at the 48-hour project is about 12 people. So you'll have a crew of about 12 people making the average film.
What was the Anthony Quinn Award about?
All right. So we have one fundraiser a year, and that's coming up this Saturday. And this year is the first year that our fundraiser will also be a presentation of the Anthony Quinn Award, which
Who is?
Anthony Quinn.
No. Come on now. I've actually
All
interviewed.
right.
I've actually
You did?
interviewed Anthony Quinn.
Oh, that's great. He's an amazing guy.
You know who
I've
actually
only-
interviewed him? To be honest with you, my son Zachary.
Oh, all right.
When he was and
The picture's
and
gone now,
Anthony
but-
Quinn turned it on him. He says, "Who's your favorite actor?" Fully expecting him to say Anthony Quinn.
Right.
You know what my son said? John Travolta, because I was
Nice.
in the movie
All right.
Civil Action with John Travolta.
Uh-huh.
So who do you want to say who's
So
going to
the-
win this?
It's being awarded to Ann Mulhall.
Oh.
Who is you know her
casting
too.
agent,
Yeah, she's
right?
a casting agent.
LD
She's LDI casting.
LDI
Yep.
casting.
She's been doing it for, I don't want to get in trouble here, but for forever.
Yeah, I got to get it
she's-
because we talked years ago about me, getting me in a film.
Yeah.
I wanted to get. I was interested in doing doing a film where I actually talked in a film.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a spot in Civil Action, but as a mayor, and they ended up not using it.
Okay.
So they end up making
so
me
you
a
can still be
driller, and I
mayor
didn't have
someday.
any music. I mean, any words in it,
lines,
which
yeah.
stunk, you know?
Yeah,
What is the
well,
rock and reel?
that's show business.
What's rock and reel?
Rock and Reel is our next big project. That's coming up in March. So
Now, what's that about?
it's a new project. We wanted to, the 48-hour film project has been a huge success. We had 12 or 1,300 viewers last year who came to the theater and watched the things.
Right.
We had hundreds of people take part. It's a part of a national, like I said, an international project. We wanted to do something that was Rhode Island based as well.
Oh, cool.
So Rock and Reel is Rhode Island based.
Right.
It's a timed filmmaking competition, and it pairs local musicians with local filmmakers. So instead of pulling a genre out of a hat,
Right.
you're going to pull a musician out of a hat.
Wow.
A musician's name, anyway.
Oh, it could be Mark.
It would be Mark. Mark is one of the first people that signed up for this.
Really?
I kid you not.
Wow.
Yeah. So they pull a musician out, get a couple of songs that musician likes. You listen to the music. You come up with something inspirational and creative as a sort of a music video, but narrative too, so that people
Okay,
can watch
we're
it.
running out of time, but I got to run a couple questions by you quickly.
All right.
What is the black and white party about?
The black and white party is we try to wear black or white. A couple of years we've done it. Enough people wore just black or white, and it looked like they were black and white photos when we took photos of the thing.
Oh,
It
cool,
looked really
cool.
But it's a fundraiser to support
Right.
the organization, and we have musicians. We have WRIK DJs who do some great DJ music.
Right.
We have food from Julian's Cactus Grill and a few other sponsors. We have some great music. I keep saying musical, but it's magical.
Right.
So we'll have Rory Raven, Marvelous Marvin, and Jared Deploy, who are all magicians who will go.
Oh, I got
around
a couple
and
musicians
they'll make
coming
things
to my
come out
event,
from-
my Toys for Tots event.
Yeah.
I got a guy
I bet
coming up
it's the
from
same.
Philadelphia to be on the
Oh,
show.
nice. Yeah, kids love that stuff. So
Oh,
early
I
on-
love it. I love magic. I do.
I believe you.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Can you do
what,
it?
What do you do with the money that's raised?
It supports us throughout the year. So we have
good.
numerous support groups for actors and writers and visual effects artists, editors, producers, all the different artists that come together to make a film.
All right, you got 30
We
seconds.
support them all year long.
You got 30 seconds.
So you can learn more about it at www.rifcfilms.com, which hopefully is down around here somewhere.
www.
And you can, it's Saturday the 8th,
Okay.
Saturday, December
December.
8th at Mixed Magic Theater, which is generously working with us to provide
Where
the
is that?
space.
Where is that?
That's in Hope Artiste Village in Pawtucket.
Oh my God, it's around
So
the corner
it's
from my
right-
house,
it's- yes.
1064 Main Street
Well,
or
then
something
you have to
like
be
that.
there.
Yeah, of course
Starts
I'll
at
be there.
6:30,
Yeah.
goes all
That's
night.
the old Hope Webbing.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
Schoolhouse
they've really-
Candy.
They've done some amazing renovations
Oh,
over
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. The Met is in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Opposite
Well,
corner
I'll
from
be
the
there.
Met. All right.
Make sure
great.
you leave me a ticket. I'll be there.
I will.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you, Mike.
Thank you
Hang
very
on.
much.
Give us a song. Is that Mark Cutler?
Yes, it is. There's a place called a Hideaway, and it's filled up every single day. And in a corner, matches lit, and a man and a woman share a cigarette. Next to them, a man drinks alone. He's a man, he don't wanna go home. There's a bar around the corner, and in the morning they had a fight. He kept them moving through the night. Later on at the Hideaway, parked his car. She didn't see it, but now stumbling through the door, and the bartender gonna give one more. There's a bar around the corner, and across the deep blue sea, there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. Then one day when he tried to stop, his good time buddies, they wouldn't let up. Why can't you be one of the guys? You gonna let somebody run your life. You gotta show who's the boss, and you gotta choose, it's her or us. There's a bar around the corner, and across the deep blue sea, there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. There's a bar around the corner, and across the deep blue sea, there's a man who drinks alone, and today the man is me. All right.
Thank you, Mark. Very good job. Nice stuff. Oh my God, now I got two beautiful women with me. Mrs. Johnston, Rhode Island, huh? Karen McCahey. And a name change. Last time I saw you, you had a name begin with an S. Now you got a name begins with a W. You went from S to W. It's in one from the other, huh?
Yep.
Mackenzie
Wilcox.
Wilcox. I used to very friendly with a guy named Mike Wilcox.
Oh, okay.
He played baseball for me. Years later, we ended up going a trip to Florida. I'm 15 years older than him, but one of their guys fell out. They were going to spring break down at Daytona Beach, and somebody fell out, and he invited me. He said, "You want to go? You got to pay for the 1/4 there." One of the guys said, "We don't want an old man with us. We don't." And he goes, "No, Bob's all right. Don't worry about that." Well, I ended up going, and I didn't know the kid was bad-mouthing me. This one kid, the youngest kid of the group. Well, the second day we were there, he came over and he told me, he apologized to me. He says, "I can't keep up with you."
That's funny.
And I don't even drink. Anyway, how you doing, young ladies?
Good.
Mrs. Rhode Island. Now you're in competition and you're friendly.
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. Now you have two kids. How old?
My daughter Gianna's 10 and my son Thomas is 8.
Okay. What got you into the Mrs. Rhode Island pageant?
Well, it's my first pageant. I'm going to be 42 in the pageant.
You're going to be 42?
Yeah, I'll be 42 in January.
Done pretty good.
I'm trying.
Really?
Well, she's 21, so the competition.
Oh my God, double.
Oh, I know. So I just figured if I didn't do it now, when would I do it? And,
Right.
I stayed home with my kids in my 30s, so I thought this was a nice time to get back out and do some stuff.
Now, what does the hubby think about it?
He's excited. At first, he was like, "You're really going to do it?" Because it's not something I've ever done or usually
Right.
would do. But I was like, "Yeah, I thought about it, and I'm just going to do it. I just want to do it." So.
And you, young lady, now you were in the Miss Rhode Island pageant a couple years ago, right?
Yes. Yep. I've done the Miss Rhode Island and Miss Rhode Island Teen even back in the day.
Yep.
So
you're a veteran. We got a veteran, a young veteran, and a little older, not veteran.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Yes. So what got you into this one?
now that I'm married, I just thought I'd like to do a pageant where I could represent married women in Rhode Island.
Wow. Now, what are the requirements? Anything? Is there any requirements here just to being beautiful and married?
And married. I think that's it. There's no age requirement.
And in Rhode Island.
There's no age requirement at all?
Nope.
Rhode Island.
Wow.
Married.
Yeah? So how many are in? How many are in the pageant?
There's 10 right now.
Yeah, 10 or even 11, I think, maybe.
Yeah? When's the pageant?
March 16th.
Where?
Foxwoods.
They combine Connecticut and Rhode
Whoa,
Island. so it's gonna be
Foxwoods. Now, who
big
runs the
event.
pageant? Who runs that pageant?
It's Elaine.
Oh, of course.
You know Elaine.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And Melissa.
And Melissa and Ray.
Yep.
Father's,
Yep.
yeah, great guy. I actually judged that pageant one year.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I picked the winner. Well, I guess we're getting ready to close out. Might as well bring this young lady in too, huh?
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Now, you might be interviewing them somewhere down the line.
Absolutely. I would love to interview both of you.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah. Now, you got Foxwoods, and what date is it again?
March 16th.
March 16th. Can anybody go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Better go.
I'm going. March
You'll be
16th.
there, right? We'll be looking for you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have any kids yet, right?
No, just 2 dogs.
2 dogs. 2 dogs, no kids.
Yeah.
7 minutes. I thought it's 7 minutes. That was 1 minute?
1 minute.
You got to write a little better.
And this always means 30 seconds. So.
That was painless. That was easy.
Well, you did get a lot
You know
in
what that
for a short
sound is,
time.
don't you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought I had 7 minutes left.
that's okay.
You put
You guys
the
did great.
one up.
Thank
It looked
you.
like a. It looked like a
I
7.
really want to go. I'm gonna go.
That'd be awesome.
I'm going.
We'd love to see
I-
you guys
I'll
there.
Make sure you remind me.
Show.